The next night, little Paru and her brother Chanku were already tucked into their cozy bed, waiting excitedly. Papa, tell us more about King Dashrath and Ayodhya. Paru said, her eyes were sparkling. Chanku nodded eagerly, hugging his soft toy. What happened after the king looked at the stars? He asked. Their father smiled, pulling them close under the blanket. All right, my little ones, let's go back to Ayodhya. Dad began. Early next morning, King Dashrath sent his royal messenger galloping on a horse to the Gurukul where sage Vashisht and Gurumatha Arundhati lived. The messenger bowed deeply to the sage and said, Great Kulaguru, King Dashrath wishes to visit you. Sage Vashisht, wise and calm, nodded gently. Let him come, he said. With his sixth sense or wisdom eye, he already knew the king's heart. Soon, King Dashrath himself arrived at the ashram. After being warmly welcomed by Gurumatha Arundhati with water, flowers, and fruits, the king spoke in private to sage Vashisht. Of wise one, he said with folded hands, I have wealth, I have a great kingdom, but my heart is empty. I long for a child, an heir to carry forward the Sun dynasty. Please help me. Sage Vashisht closed his eyes and thought deeply for a moment. Then he opened them and said, There is a sacred ritual, O king. It is called the Puthrakamesthi yagam. It must be performed by a sage named Rishyasringa. Rishyasringa? Dashrath asked. Yes, nodded Vashisht. He alone can lead the yagya to success. King Dashrath agreed with all his heart. With great respect, he invited sage Rishyasringa to Ayodhya. The sun bathed Ayodhya in golden hues as the sacred chariots approached the city gates. Standing at the forefront, King Dashratha, adorned in royal grace and humility, awaited with folded hands. Beside him stood the revered sage Vasishtha, radiating calm wisdom. As the chariot halted, a gentle silence fell upon the gathering. From within stepped the radiant sage Rishyasringa, his aura calm, his presence divine, his very arrival a promise of fulfilled hopes. Dashratha stepped forward with reverence. Bowing deeply, he welcomed the young sage with garlands and sacred offerings. Soon, a grand yagya was arranged in the royal palace grounds. The conch blew, the skies echoed with Vedic chants, and with that divine moment, preparations for the great Puthrakamesthi yagam began, marking the first step toward the birth of Rama and his brothers. All the greatest priests, sages, and scholars gathered around the blazing sacred fire Homakunda. The conch resounded through the air, and the skies reverberated with the sacred rhythm of Vedic chants. With that divine moment, preparations for the grand Puthrakamesthi yagam commenced, a powerful ritual that would pave the way for the birth of Rama and his brothers. At the center of the ritual sat Rishi Rishyasringa, leading the yagam as the chief priest, his presence radiating serenity and spiritual strength. Beside him sat the venerable sage Vasishtha, offering his wisdom and blessings. Surrounding the sacred fire were assembled sages, their eyes closed in deep meditation, their chants weaving a sacred aura around the yagashala. Facing the altar sat King Dashratha, accompanied by his three queens, Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra, their hands folded in devotion, hearts filled with hope and reverence. When the yagya was complete, something magical happened. From the flames of the Homakunda, Agnidev, the god of fire, appeared in a glowing human form, holding a golden pot. The kids gasped. He handed the pot to King Dashrath and said, This is the sacred Yagya Prasadam. Share it with your queens. Soon, your wish will come true, and you shall have children. Wait. Papa. Paru asked, her eyes wide. Did Agnidev come out of the fire? How can a god appear like that? Dad smiled, patting her head. My little Paru, in those days, people lived with honesty, loyalty, and true devotion. When we give something our 100%, miracles happen. God is everywhere, He can take any shape, any form, and appear before us. Oh ho, Paru whispered, thoughtfully. King Dashrath took the prasadam back to his palace. He first gave half to Queen Kaushalya, then the remaining half to Queen Kaikeyi. Ayo! What about Sumitra, Papa? Paru asked quickly. Dad smiled warmly. Kaushalya and Kaikeyi, seeing their co-sister left out, took portions of their share and gave them to Sumitra. They knew joy should be shared. Paru clapped her hands. That's so good. Sharing is caring, right, Papa? Exactly, my princess. Just like you share your toys with Chanku. Chanku grinned shyly. Paru snuggled closer. Then what happened, Papa? Did they get babies? Dad chuckled softly. Well, the day ended in Ayodhya, and everyone went to sleep, dreaming of a bright future. So now, my little ones, we too must sleep and dream. Oh, Papa. Paru pouted. My sweet Paru, the next part will come tomorrow night. Stories are like laddus, one bite at a time makes them sweeter. Okay, she whispered, hugging her brother. Good night, Mom. Papa, love you. Soon, Paru drifted into dreams of Ayodhya's golden palaces, wise sages, and queens sharing with kindness.